So, hello everyone and welcome back. It's Rybread761 here, and this is the part where we actually start working on the Xposed module itself. So in this video we're going to be basically doing some basic research that I like to do before even starting on my project. You can see I haven't started anything here. So basically, this is the basic research that I like to do before starting a project to make sure the said module is, going to be not too difficult to make, not a lot more difficult than I expected, and kind of seeing what methods I'm going to need to hook and what resources I might need to replace to kind of do what I want. So obviously every module is slightly different if you're adding functionality or adding new settings or whatever you're trying to do. Obviously we're making sort of a theme-based module here. If you guys want more basic tutorials on like different types of modules that use different techniques for modding in the future, do let me know. But I'm just trying to get you guys to kind of be able to break into the Xposed world. And my first module was a module like this, so that used the same kind of stuff. But anyway, so what I've done is I found the easiest way to look at the Android source code. You can download it all to your computer, but it takes a lot of time because it's a huge massive source code. So I like to use CyanogenMod's GitHub repo, and if you're modding something in the system, basically you're probably going to be looking in Android frameworks base. If you're modding like an app or something, then you can come over here. They probably have it. Packages, apps, settings, packages, apps, MMS, packages. So if you're doing something that, but we're modding the status bar, so everything here should be in Android frameworks base. So next up, we basically just need to find where the code is that we want to modify. One way to do this is go ahead and see through another module that is open source what kind of classes we need to modify and where they're located at. So I'm going to show you guys that by just searching for GravityBox, which is a popular module that has status bar mods in it. So all I'm going to do is go over to their Xposed repository, and I know GravityBox is open source. You might be surprised, but most Xposed modules are open source, which is really nice when you're trying to figure out how to mod a specific part of the system. If you can think of a module that does something similar, it can be a lot of help to you to figure it out. Especially with, the main reason I'm making this is Xposed like main documentation, and we'll get to using this in a second. Well, probably next video, but so yeah. Another thing I want to mention about just using GitHub, if you haven't seen it before, there's branches. So if I wanted to go to the Jelly Bean version of GravityBox or the KitKat one, if I wanted to go to CyanogenMod, if I want to use, a specific version, I just use the one that's on your device, obviously, pretty much. So I'm just going to go into source here. I'm not sure if it's going to be calm. Okay, it is. So they have mods here. So mod status bar. So where is that modifying? So package name com.android.system UI, status bar phone. This is the ticker. Okay. Okay. So we can see that it's going to be in system UI. So I haven't been doing any Xposed lately, honestly. So I think I'm going to go to core, or am I going to go to packages? Packages. System UI. Source. I think this should get me. Com, Android, System UI, yeah. Okay, so com, Android, System UI, status bar. Actually, this isn't even what I want. Because what I actually want is to go into resources, I think. Because this is going to be a layout file that I'm going to want to hook the inflation of. And if this sounds really confusing to you guys, my guess is that you haven't done any Android development. If you have done some Android development and it still seems really confusing to you guys, just bear with me. I'm pretty sure you'll understand it in just a couple of videos or so. If you have any serious questions after that and you're still really confused, do let me know. I'm not the best at explaining things, but I just want to make Xposed development easier, because I know there's not a lot of documentation and tutorials out there, and I just want you guys to be able to do it so that you can stop requesting things that probably will never get made and just start making them. So, it's going to be in layout somewhere, most likely, layout. And this is probably going to be statusbar.xml. So what this is actually telling me include layout, signal cluster text view. Interesting. So, status bar icon view. Interesting. So, now I notice that the visibility on this is gone, which means that it isn't supposed to show up. We have an icon merger. This is called notification icons. No, this has to be, okay, we have to be in the system icons. So this is a linear layout status icons. Signal battery cluster. Battery must be padded below to match assets. This isn't really telling me anything, however. I think maybe it should be in this signal cluster view. Signal battery cluster. Status icons. This is a linear layout for status icons. So hold on, one second. Let me look at Nexus 5. If I go over here, let's take a look at this, because on my Nexus 7 it's modded, and I think that this is primarily for the phone. So, what do we have? We have this. Okay. So, this is a nice bright red. It has the Wi-Fi, that has this, then it has the battery. Okay. So, this is mod status bar. Okay. Dock battery. Okay. So if we're in the battery, we have to be somewhere up here. Signal battery cluster. I feel like it should be in status icons. Now, because this just ends here, my guess is it's going to actually be manipulated somewhere, so. Let me... Firefox doesn't have a duplicate tab function by default, and it drives me absolutely insane. Okay. So, what I think we're going to want to do is go over to here. And I hope this isn't too boring for you guys, but I'm trying to give you an idea of what it actually looks like to develop an Xposed module. So I haven't done all this stuff prior because I want you to see what it's like, what I do. So if it gets too insanely long, I'll try and stop it or cut some of it out that I don't deem to be important, but, you know. This guy's a Notepad++ thing, that's cool. So then we want to know about status bar and status bar icon view. System bars. No, this isn't quite what I want, is it? Base status bar, base status bar, base status bar. Okay. What are we looking at again? We're looking at, we think it's going to have something to do with this system icon area. Now, another thing that you can do with GitHub is system icon area. Where is that? So there we go. Phone status bar .java. Now the question is, will this show up on my tablet? System, what is it called? Icon area. So M system icon area. Oops, sorry guys. So M system icon area. That's animating, animating. Set visibility and animating. That's the... Okay, that appears to just be for the animations, actually. Nothing is ever added to that. Which is really fucking frustrating. Oh my god. So... Right, so we thought maybe it would be status icons, which would make more sense. So status icons. Phone status for transitions. That doesn't really sound like what we want. Well, that's M status icons. Demo status icons. Interesting. Now, I just thought of something, actually. Now, I wonder if there could actually be a thing for the Wi-Fi icon. Phone. Now, what if I searched for a Wi-Fi icon or something? Quick settings, that's the Wi-Fi tile. Quick settings. Signal cluster view. Wi-Fi group, mobile group. Wi-Fi activity. Okay, image view is Wi-Fi. So let's do a search for Wi-Fi. I think we're getting somewhere here. Wi-Fi. Right, Wi-Fi equals find view by ID r.id.wi-fi signal. So let's... I don't think that's anywhere in here because if I search it, Wi-Fi, no. So Wi-Fi underscore signal. And honestly, guys, don't laugh at my typing skills. I learned Dvorak like a month and a half ago, probably, maybe 2 months, I don't know. And I'm still getting better at it, and I'm having a particularly bad day today, so... Okay. Signal cluster view.xml. So we could see that that was an include there. So what we have is basically this. Okay? And then this is an image view in the frame layout called Wi-Fi signal. Okay? And that would seem to be the simplest of it. Now, it's in an interesting tree. So that is the Wi-Fi in out. Interesting. Okay. Awesome. Okay. So what we're gonna do is pretty much say, the way I look at it, we have two options here. We can take a look at this method and we can say, you know, after this happens, what do we want to do here? Because we could get my5 from here and then do that. Or we could say when this layout inflates. And I think we're going to start off with the option of when this layout inflates. And if it doesn't work, then we're going to try and do this, okay? So having multiple ways of thinking to do something is really good, and especially common with simple tweaks. So that's a really good thing to do. And that way, if your first idea doesn't work out exactly like how you thought, you might still be able to do it without dicking around forever. So anyway, I hope you guys at least semi-enjoyed this. I know it's not a very fun part of Xposed development. The fun part is obviously booting your device up for that final time and it just works, and that's obviously the best part. But this is obviously one of the major prerequisites to getting to that stage, and so it's just necessary, and I hope you enjoyed it. So I'll be back when we actually start with the project.